Bringing you action from Fire on Ice in the Great Northern Snow X Series. This is a Lucas Oil Pro Open Snowcross presented by Herculiner. We have to real quickly say thanks to Ballwig Implements and also Comfort Suites for giving us a great place to stay in Waupaca. It's been an awesome time.
The snowcross track here tonight is simply awesome. It took 60 man-hours plus to put it together, over 150 loads of snow to make this 3-foot base. Two distinct areas we're going to have to watch. The big tabletop over on the front stretch, 14 feet high. We're going to see 80-foot air here tonight in the pro classes. Now, the switchback right behind us and right here. You can see they call this a switchback. It's like a bunch of moguls put together. We have no idea where these snowmobiles are going to go. A very crucial part of the snowcross is right here, guys. An awesome 3/10 mile racetrack.
All right, lining them up here. You can take a look at the order courtesy of Herculiner. Big, heavy, bulky sleds that probably don't really enjoy turning on a dime, but these guys are so talented with them. They're quick, they're nimble, and there's a big wheel staying on the far side.
And unlike the oval track racing we saw just a few moments ago, this is all loose, unpacked snow. And again, it's like a motocross version, if you will, only with snowmobiles. So there's a lot different configuration here and a lot tougher ways you have to win this thing.
You can see that fluff out there. If you get out of the groove too far and you get in that fluff, it'll grab a ski and suck you completely off the track and out of the line. There's that big tabletop that we heard Rob mentioning before.
And like Rob mentioned, you're going to see a lot of air during the course of this race as Brett Nastala is currently your first place machine, but he's being chased pretty close by a number of competitors here, including this battle between Justin Monty and Jacob Muller.
You hear those things, man, they are pipey. Those two strokes out there, they are crisp.
And you know, in this cold air, Ken, these things are really, really quick to respond. If you've got these things set up just right and jetted just right, obviously for the cold conditions, they are so quick to respond. It wouldn't be the same, and I know the conditions would never be this way in hot weather, but these things are meant to react quickly, and they do just that.
Great battle in there. You can see this pack, man. A lot of those guys side by side, nose to tail. You have to deal with a roost whenever these guys hit the throttle. It's kicking up a bunch of slop, and look at him just air it out, making it look easy.
Man, almost to the point of kicking that thing sideways in the air like you might see a youngster on one of those 300-pound motocross bikes. These things clearly a lot heavier.
Yeah, very talented guys, and that's what this is. I mean, this is basically a supercross, if you will, on snowmobiles. A lot of body English there, lays it way over to get that thing to try and turn. And that big, fat track, I mean, it wants to push the sled straight, so it's not something that wants to turn real easily.
Nastala making a good run of it here. I mean, he looks like he's running away from it. You saw him a little bit earlier, Ken, going beyond and passing a back marker, if you will, or one of the slower sleds. But he's got competition now coming up from the back.
Yeah, he was also turning his head around and looking back to see if anybody was coming up, but I got news for him. Brian Ludwig is coming.
Yeah, he is on the move, and I believe Brett knows that as well. He can see that machine. And these guys race, you know, all the time together. They know who to be watching for. And you wouldn't think if you turned around with all that snow flying through the air, you could have any idea who it might be. But I think he's got a pretty good suspicion.
The Polaris is first and second right now with Brett Nastala on the first place one. In second place, Brian Ludwig. Ski-Doo in third, Arctic Cat in fourth. As these guys continue on here in this moto.
Great representation by all the manufacturers here and in all these categories as far as that goes. You know, you've got the top 4 brands represented, and that's kind of neat to see, really. No strong domination overall. You got a machine and a manufacturer in the top 4 spot.
On the throttle hard, airs that thing out.
This is good stuff, man.
And hard to pass, as you can see. I mean, to stay in the preferred line, you know, it's difficult to make a pass. Everybody's out there, so you've got to change your line up.
And now the situation is simple for Brett. Brett's got to watch himself from all angles because not only is he having to worry about the traffic in front of him, he's got to worry about Ludwig, who was chasing him down from behind.
And talk about guys that are in great shape. I mean, these are true athletes. No question about it. is very, very physical. You're standing up most of the time. Your knees, thighs just taking an absolute beating. Needless to say, of course, your arms and shoulders and stuff when you're flying that thing.
Man, oh man, oh man, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not so sure this old boy can handle it for very long, but these guys, as you can tell, are very agile and obviously very well cut and very strong young guys. Maybe not all that young, far as that goes.
White flag is out. They need to hang on for one more lap. We'll see if Brett can hang on, or will Brian be able to get around him?
Oh, he's trying to make the move there. Back marker trying to hold him up, though.
Brian on the 221, Brett on the 248, Brett out front.
Oh, this turned into a great race at the end, bud.
I mean, these guys in traffic coming back by here, the white flag for the lapper, and then, of course, the checkered flag comes out, and yes, Brett Nastala will hang on for the win here. As you can see, the results here, courtesy of Herculiner. Brian Ludwig, a good run, but not enough.
Brett Nastala picking up the win in the semi-pro, and you had Ludwig there on your back bumper. You had to work about some lap sleds there and worry about those guys, but nonetheless, when it was all said and done, man, you got the win. Nice job.
Oh yeah, Brian was definitely catching up to me there. I got up to them lappers, and I knew he was right there. And definitely, when you get up to all the lap traffic, it slows you down if you can't get by him right away. So I got lucky and was able to get by a couple of them.